Okay, so let's be real. South Korea is kind of everywhere these days, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere you turn, it seems.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And it's more than just a passing trend. It feels like South Korea has really woven itself into, like, the global consciousness.
Definitely. And it's got this really interesting mix of like super high-tech innovation and then these really deep-rooted traditions. It's a cool contrast.
Totally. This article we've got for this deep dive even mentions things like robot baristas making lattes, but then in the same breath, it's talking about these ancient palaces. I mean, how wild is that?
It's pretty mind-blowing, like this fusion of old and new.
Exactly. So for anyone listening who maybe hasn't had the chance to explore South Korea just yet, what would you say is like the one thing that really sets it apart from other travel destinations?
That's a tough one. There's so much to choose from. But I think it's that captivating blend of tradition and modernity that we were just talking about. You can be wandering through a centuries-old Buddhist temple one minute and then sipping a meticulously crafted latte made by a robot the next.
It's like stepping into the future without letting go of the past, right?
Exactly. And speaking of captivating, we have to talk about the food. I mean, wow, Korean food has exploded in popularity lately.
Oh my gosh, yes. This article had me craving Korean BBQ like you wouldn't believe. Just like the whole experience of it, grilling your own marinated meats at the table. It just sounds so fun and interactive.
It is. Korean BBQ is about so much more than just the food itself. It's a social experience, a way to connect with friends and family over delicious food.
It's like in so many cultures, food is that shared experience, but Korean BBQ takes it to a whole other level.
For sure. And you can't forget about kimchi. I mean, it's practically its own food group in South Korea.
Right? Like every meal has to have kimchi on the side.
Absolutely. And there's a reason for that. Kimchi is like this flavor explosion. It's spicy, it's tangy, it's fermented, it's got this umami depth. It just wakes up your taste buds.
Okay, you're making me hungry.
And the best part is, there are hundreds of varieties of kimchi, each with its own unique flavor profile, reflecting different regions and traditions. It's fascinating.
See, this is what I love about deep dives like this. You start to uncover these little details that you might not have even thought about before, and it just adds this whole other layer of richness to the experience,
Totally. So, okay, imagine this. You're strolling through the streets of Seoul, surrounded by these towering skyscrapers and digital billboards flashing everywhere.
It's like Times Square on overdrive. Right.
Yes, exactly. But then you turn a corner, and suddenly you're standing in front of a serene temple, like Gyeongbokgung Palace. Talk about a culture clash.
It's wild, right? Like, how do these two worlds even exist in such close proximity?
It's that unique juxtaposition that defines Seoul, and I think to some extent South Korea as a whole. It's a nation that deeply respects its heritage, its history, but it's also a nation that is incredibly forward-thinking and innovative.
It's almost like they've cracked the code of embracing progress without sacrificing their past.
Precisely. And I think that's something that resonates with a lot of people, especially in today's world where everything feels so fast-paced and ever-changing.
It's that sense of grounding, maybe, like knowing where you came from while still being excited about where you're going.
Exactly. And you see that reflected in so many aspects of South Korean culture, from the way they preserve their historical sites to the way they embrace new technologies. It's a fascinating dynamic.
Totally. So for anyone who's maybe a little intimidated by the idea of traveling to a country where they don't speak the language or maybe aren't as familiar with the customs, what would you say to them about South Korea?
I'd say don't be intimidated. South Koreans are incredibly welcoming and hospitable people. Plus, English is widely spoken, especially in the major cities. And there's a real sense of safety and efficiency that makes traveling around the country a breeze.
That's good to know. Okay, I have to ask this because, let's be honest, you can't talk about South Korea without talking about K-pop. It's huge, right?
It's massive. K-pop has become this global phenomenon, and it's showing no signs of slowing down.
I feel like it's more than just music, too, It's a whole cultural experience.
It is. It's fashion, it's dance, it's music videos, it's concerts, it's this whole immersive world. And the fans are incredibly dedicated, like next level dedicated.
They're serious about their K-pop.
They are. And for a lot of fans, traveling to South Korea is like a pilgrimage. They want to experience the music, the culture, and the energy firsthand.
It's like K-pop is the soundtrack to their lives, and they want to go to where it all began.
Exactly. It's about experiencing that connection on a deeper level.
And speaking of dedication, let's talk about another reason why South Korea is having such a moment. Right now, it seems like a really fun place to travel, even on a budget.
Absolutely. South Korea offers incredible value for travelers, especially compared to other destinations that are seeing a surge in popularity right now.
Especially when it comes to the street food. Like, that was a big takeaway for me from this article. You can eat like a king without spending a ton.
Oh, absolutely. Street food is a huge part of Korean culture, and it's incredibly affordable. And the variety is amazing. You can find everything from classic dishes like tteokbokki, which are these chewy rice cakes in a spicy sauce, to more adventurous options like, well, I'm not even sure how to describe it. It's like a skewer of fried things. You just have to try it.
You had me at spicy sauce.
It's true. Korean food is not for the faint of heart when it comes to spice.
I love it. But speaking of things that might be a little overwhelming, this article made Seoul sound seriously intense, like so much energy, so much to see, so much to do.
Seoul is definitely a city that never sleeps. But that's part of its charm. There's this infectious energy, this feeling that anything is possible.
The article specifically mentioned this one shopping district called Myeongdong. Have you ever been? What's it like?
Oh, Myeongdong is an experience. Imagine Times Square, but instead of Broadway shows, it's all K-pop and skincare products.
That sounds amazing. I'm big into skincare, so I'd probably spend all my money there.
It's a dangerous place for your wallet, that's for sure. But even if you're not a big shopper, it's worth going just to soak up the atmosphere. It's like sensory overload in the best possible way.
Okay, I'm adding that to my list.
Yeah.
Now, we have to talk about something else that caught my eye in this article, the themed cafes. Cat cafes, I get, but they were talking about flower cafes, board game cafes, even a cafe with a menu where everything is under 92 calories.
Yeah, the themed cafe scene in South Korea is out of control, and it's not just about the themes themselves, it's the attention to detail. Like in these cat cafes, they don't just have cats wandering around, they have like elaborate climbing structures and toys and everything. It's like a cat playground.
It sounds adorable. But okay, so we've talked about the city, the food, the shopping, but South Korea's also got this whole other side, right? Like the natural beauty.
Absolutely. People often overlook that aspect of South Korea, but it's truly breathtaking.
The article mentioned an island called Jeju Island. It sounded incredible, like volcanoes and waterfalls and beaches all in one place.
The Jeju Island is magical. It's got this unique volcanic landscape that you won't find anywhere else in Korea, and the beaches are beautiful.
Okay, you're speaking my language now. So
Yeah.
we got volcanic scenery, we've got beaches. What else?
They have these incredible lava tubes, which are these underground caves that were formed by flowing lava. And there are ancient forests and hiking trails with stunning views. It's a nature lover's paradise.
I'm sold. But for those of us who maybe can't swing a trip to an island, are there other nature escapes that are a little more accessible?
Definitely. There are mountains and national parks all over South Korea. The article specifically mentioned Bukhansan National Park, which is actually right on the outskirts of Seoul.
No way. So you could literally go from the middle of the city to a hiking trail in like an hour.
Pretty much. It's a great way to escape the city buzz for a few hours and reconnect with nature.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the city, the food, the nature, but we haven't really delved into the history yet.
And South Korea has a rich and fascinating history, dating back thousands of years.
This article briefly mentioned a city called Gyeongju, which I think was the capital of one of the ancient Korean kingdoms.
You're thinking of the Silla Kingdom. Gyeongju was the Silla capital for almost 1,000 years, and it's often called a museum without walls.
Okay, what does that even mean, a museum without walls?
It means that everywhere you turn, you're surrounded by history. There are ancient tombs, temples, palaces. It's like stepping back in time.
That sounds incredible. I love that feeling of like being connected to the past. Are there any specific sites in Gyeongju that you would recommend?
Oh, so many. But if I had to choose just one, I'd say Bulguksa Temple. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most beautiful and important Buddhist temples in all of Korea.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Bulguksa Temple is going on the list. What is it about this particular temple that makes it so special?
Well, it's over 1,200 years old, for one thing. And it's home to some of the most exquisite Buddhist art and architecture in the world. Plus, the setting is stunning. It's nestled in the mountains, surrounded by forests. It's a truly peaceful and inspiring place.
It's amazing. You know, when you think about it, 1,000 years ago, someone was standing on that very spot looking up at that same temple. It just blows my mind.
It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
It totally does. Okay, before we get too lost in existential contemplation, we have to talk about one last thing, nightlife. because this article made it clear that South Koreans know how to have a good time.
Oh, absolutely. Seoul's nightlife is legendary.
It mentioned something called Norabang, which apparently is like karaoke on steroids.
Aha, that's one way to put it. Basically, it's private karaoke rooms that you can rent out with your friends.
Okay, so it's like karaoke, but without the fear of embarrassing yourself in front of strangers.
Exactly. You can sing your heart out no matter how bad you are, and nobody's judging you. Well, except maybe your friends, but that's part of the fun.
It sounds like a blast. And it seems like that kind of sums up South Korea in a nutshell, doesn't it? Like this amazing blend of tradition and modernity, of high energy and deep contemplation.
It really does. It's a country that embraces contrasts and contradictions, and somehow it all just works.
It's like they've figured out this balance that so many other places are still searching for.
Definitely. It's a country that challenges your perceptions and leaves you feeling inspired and energized.
This article we've been discussing wrapped up by simply stating that South Korea is different. And I have to say, after diving into all of this, different feels like a massive understatement.
It really does. Different doesn't even begin to capture the depth and complexity of what South Korea has to offer.
It's a country that defies easy categorization. It's modern yet ancient, bustling yet tranquil, trendy yet traditional. It's a place where you can wander through a centuries-old palace in the morning and then find yourself belting out karaoke in a high-tech singing room later that night.
And somehow it all makes perfect sense.
So, for our listeners out there who are now feeling inspired to add South Korea to their travel bucket lists, what would be your one piece of advice?
That's a tough one. But I think I'd say, go with an open mind and an adventurous spirit. Embrace the unknown. Don't be afraid to try new things, to step outside of your comfort zone, because South Korea is a country that rewards curiosity.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the fascinating world of South Korea. Until next time, keep exploring.